Welcome back to Crossing Delaware, and thanks for visiting. I am going to talk to you today about Aperture Spotlight and how to customize the Storm at the Hancock framed photo. And I'm starting off on the photography shop. And if you scroll down to whichever photo, but today we're talking about the Storm at the Hancock, which happens to be at the bottom of this particular gallery. And if you want to see the detail and go through to purchase, you will click on any of the thumbnails. And at the bottom of the photo, whoop, start over. Sorry, my mouse is slippery. At the bottom of the photo, you see the Buy Now button. And it takes you over to the shop where you can do all your customizing. And on the right side of the photo here, you will see the framing options. And today we're going to talk about actual framed prints. So you'll see when I click on framed print, you're going to see the default frame, which is just a simple black frame with a 2-inch mat. And what I'm going to do first is just like on I'm going to just go back here for a second. On the home page of the website where we look at the Aperture Spotlight, you can see the frame. What we've got here is this it's a really cool gray sort of distressed frame. And I want to create this look. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the frame tab here, and we're going to go into the gray category. So if you click down on this frame color, you can click down, and there's so many different color schemes. This one is in the gray category. And we're going to scroll down, and they have so many amazing frames, and we're going to find the one with the code SLW6, which is on the bottom left here. And I'm going to click, and you're going to see a live update on the left here, which is what I love about this. So you can get a really instant view of what this is going to look like. So now that we've got it exactly how it is originally based on what I showed you here, you might want to change a few things. You might want to increase or decrease the width or the thickness of the mat, or the color, or all kinds of other things. But we're at the point now where, yes, you got the frame, and now what? Well, I want to change the size of the photo itself, because right now we're starting with the smallest photo, which is 8 by 5 and just over 5 3/4. But you want it bigger. And let's say you want to go with the largest available size, which is 16. It's like 16 and a half, or a little over 16 and a half. But as you can see here, that same 2-inch mat doesn't look as big as it did on the smaller photo. Even though it's the same size, it's kind of that optical illusion. So you might love it, you might not. You might want it bigger, you might want it smaller. So it's kind of cool because this gives you the option here. If you want to go over to the Mat tab, which is the third tab over here, you have the option of increasing or decreasing the mat size. So if I want to increase the mat size to 3 inches, I can do that, and it'll live update again for you. So now that I've increased the photo size, I've increased the mat size, and if I go back again and compare, now it sort of looks the same in a bigger size. But keep in mind, the frame size hasn't changed. I still love it. It's just that now that it gets bigger, everything's relative, so the frame has not changed at all. The photo's gotten bigger, the mat size has gotten a little bit thicker, the frame has not changed. You can see, though, that the overall size of your print, or your finished piece, I should say, is now going to be 24 by 19.63, a little over by 19 and a half inches. So you at least have an idea and a sense of how much real estate on your wall this is going to occupy, so that you could measure. If you increase or decrease your mat size, it will increase or decrease the overall finished dimensions. Now, another cool feature here is if you want to add a little bit of flare here, you can choose this first matte option that has an inner black edge, just to kind of finish off that framing. And for this particular piece, it's kind of nice. You might not like it, not necessary. It's just one of those nice aesthetic finishes. So that's one option. The other cool feature here is that you can do a bottom mat. You see this a lot with professional custom framing. And so you see here that there's now this second mat, and you can customize that thickness as well. And if I only want that to be just about 1/4 of an inch, I can change that as well. And you see how it just added a little bit of dimension. Now, let's say you're looking at this and you're like, you know what, get rid of that black edge. That's just really annoying. It's annoying me. You can just go back here to the second option. It removed it. So now you've got, it's not white on white. It's like a beige or just an off-white on white for the bottom mat. And you've got your frame. And I can go back and change the main frame mat to 2 3/4 just to bring it down a little bit. It's going to live update in a second. You see it went down just a little bit. So here you've got a really nice finished piece. It's professionally framed. It's got your finishing on the back, so it's going to be ready to hang. And I'm going to just go back to the mat tab for a second. So you've got everything finished, and this is a really nice piece. You've got your photo, you've got your double matting, you've got your frame. And then the only last thing that I always like to just absolutely verify, the default setting for your print paper, it always defaults to luster photo paper. One of the reasons is, in my personal preference, luster photo paper is a really fine, professional quality photo paper to have your prints on. It's just got a low glare, high quality finish. It's just a very subtle texture when you look close at it. It's not glossy, but it does have enough of a shine. But when you hang it on your wall, or even if you were to get prints and you were holding them, they don't hold fingerprints or anything like that. Not that you will be touching this, but you get the idea. So I always err on the side of the most professional looking paper. So this is pretty much it. And again, as I have said in other posts and in my last video, if you have ever brought anything in to get professionally framed, especially at this size, you will definitely spend an excess of what the prices that you see here. And on top of the fact that this includes the artwork. So I think that this is an amazing, affordable, convenient way of going about having the artwork completed. And now you've gotten everything done. You've got it looking exactly like what's on here. So now I'm back in the shop. And then when you're finished with all of the settings, and if you wanted to get a close-up view, by the way, of what this frame looks like, just the details, this is kind of a close-up view, just a cross-section of the construction of the frame. And it's a really cool feature with any of the frames. So if you wanted to sort of sift through and find a different frame, definitely be sure that you write down the code so that you can find them, because there's so many. So this particular one is the SLW6. Because there's so many of them, you want to make sure that you know which color category it's in. If you're on the frame tab here, that it's in the gray category, and that what code it is, because it can be tough to go back and find it. That's the only thing. So I apologize about that. So just make sure that you write it down if you're kind of mix and matching to find the right one. But really, I think that this is an amazing option. So let's just say we're done. We're happy with what we like, and with what we've chosen, and we add it to the cart. And in this screen, this is where you're going to see everything. It shows the photo that you chose and every single thing that's part of your order, all of the options that you have. So you've got every single bit of the detail, which is kind of cool. You can put it in your cart, and then you can go back. You can either go continue shopping, or you can check out. And I hope you check out. And then when you go to check out, you can either log in here and enter your information or continue as a guest. You're going to ultimately want to create an account, because then you will be able to track your order and get all kinds of other information about your order, shipping, things like that. And then you just go forward. Once you do, you will be able to see the cost of shipping based on your location, and like I said, tracking and all those other things. So I hope that this was helpful, and stay tuned for more Aperture Spotlight posts, and we will look forward to seeing you again soon.